A very good morning class 10 students. I welcome you all on this online platform provided by Jagrati classes. So we were doing chapter 12 of class 10, that is electricity, and now we are going to continue with our same chapter. So this video lecture is for class 10 students and we are doing chapter 12 of class 10th, that is electricity. So now we'll be starting a new topic from the chapter electricity in this class, okay? So the topic here is resistors. In the previous video lectures which we have done, like the first part which we have done for the chapter electricity, there I gave you definitions of some important terms, okay? So, and their formulas, their representative units, their SI units, symbols, everything I told you. Then in the next class we saw Ohm's law and what are the applications of Ohm's law, what was actually Ohm's law, who proposed Ohm's law. And then we have seen the term resistance and what are the factors on which this resistance depends. So we have already done with 2 parts of this video and this is the 3rd part of this video series. Okay, so now we are, for the 3rd part, we are having our topic resistors. So what are resistors? Resistors are the device which provide resistance, okay? So now writing its definition, resistors are the device which provide resistance. So these devices which provide you resistance are known as resistors, and these resistance or resistors, these are represented by this kind of zigzag symbol. So this gives you resistors. It is a resistor which has a resistance value equals to R. So this symbol is for resistors and this magnitude of resistance which the resistor is having. Okay, I'm not speaking any kind of tongue twister. I'm saying that resistors are the device. So this is your device, this is resistor. And it has a property of resistance. Resistance already we have discussed and we have seen also the factors on which resistance depends. So remember, resistor is a device, whereas the property which it has is known as resistance. So resistance is the property. So I am saying this zigzag symbol, I have been representing the resistor. This is the resistor, and the amount of resistance this resistor has is denoted by the symbol R and is known as resistance, okay? So resistor is the device here and resistance is the property. I hope this is clear. Now you can have different arrangement of these resistors. That is, if you have more than one resistor, then you can combine them or arrange them in 2 different manners. So we can say that resistors can be combined together in 2 ways. The first one would be a series combination or a series arrangement, and the next one is your parallel combination. So these are the 2 ways in which you can categorize or you can combine when you have more than one resistors, okay? So now we'll be dealing with series and parallel combination. So let's start. What do you mean by series combination of resistance, and what do you understand by the term parallel combination of resistors? So you have these two terms, that is the series and the parallel combination, which we have to understand. And these combination are what? When you have more than one kind of resistors, then how you can combine all these resistors? It is known as combination. So you have two methods of combination of resistors. One is your series combination, the next one is your parallel combination. So in series combination, the first point is all the given resistance, the first end of one resistance is connected to the, or we can say, let's suppose this you have one resistance, okay, and this one is this is one resistor, this one is your second resistor. Okay, let's take both the resistors to be same here. Let's suppose I gave you two resistors and now I say you to combine both these resistors. So how you will do that? You have two resistors, you can combine. This is the first end of resistors, this is the ending point, this is the starting point, the green one, and the ending point. Then next again you have the starting point and the ending point. Then when you are combining the end point of first resistor with the starting point of the second resistor, this kind of combination is known as series combination. So remember, what is series combination? When you have two or more given resistors and you are combining the end point of one resistor with the starting point of other, then this gives you series combination. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So in series combination, it can be diagrammatically represented as, this is my first resistor, then I have a second resistor. Okay, so these are my two resistors, and in turn, when this is the starting point of first, this is the ending point of first resistor. Now you have the starting point of second and the ending point of second. And when this, in this type of combination you are arranging them, let's suppose its resistance is R1 and its resistance is R2. So this kind of combination is called series combination. And how we are going to write it down? That in series combination or series combination, so we have in series combination the end terminal or the ending point, the end terminal of first resistor is attached to, it is attached to the initial terminal or the starting point of the second resistor, and so on. Okay, so we are combining in this manner, in this linear manner, and such combination is known as series combination. Whereas for parallel combination, the diagrammatic representation of parallel combination would be, in these the resistance are not combined in this linear manner, that is the ending point of first meets with the starting point of second. No, in this you have all the resistors, the first point, the starting point of all the resistors are joining at a common point, and the ending point of all the resistors is also joining at that common point. What I mean to say is, let's suppose now we are taking again our resistors. This made our series combination, but what I am doing now is, I am arranging both the resistors one below the other. Now you have two resistors. Now what I am doing is, I am combining them with the help of a wire, and I am combining both the first point, I am joining a wire and I am joining it to a different location. And then I am taking my wire and I am joining their second point also at a common junction, at a common point. So this kind of combination where all the starting point is connected to a common point and then all the ending point of resistors is connected to a different but a common point, it is known as parallel combination. Let's try to make it as a diagram. So this one was your R1, the first resistor having a resistance R1. And this is your second resistor having a resistance R2. So in turn you have two resistors. Now this is the starting point of first, ending point of first. This is again the starting terminal or the initial terminal of R2, and this is the ending terminal of R2. Now what I do is, I join both these terminals, all the starting terminal to a common point. Let's say this is a point A, and then I am joining all the ending terminal to a common point B. But these points are different from each other. So this kind of combination is called as parallel combination. And the next point, likewise we wrote in series, how can you define parallel combination? So for parallel combination you can write all the initial terminal means starting point. These are the initial terminal, these are the last end points, okay? So all the initial terminals of resistors are connected to a common point. Here this common point is A, okay? So all the resistors have a starting point or the initial terminal which is connected to common point A, and the end terminals or the end points of all resistors are connected again to a common point, and this common point is represented by point B here. So this is the difference. In this way you can define series and parallel combination, and then you can represent them diagrammatically. I hope this is clear. Then we will be doing the third point. So in series combination you have to remember that current flowing through each branch, current flowing through each resistor remains the same. Okay, whereas in parallel the current flowing through each resistor is different. So here the current flowing through each resistors, now I am not writing it completely, you can write the same. Current flowing through each resistors remains different. What I am trying to say is, for series combination, the total current which is provided by the source of current, okay, this I is equals to I1, which is equal to I2, which is equals to I3, and so on. What does these terms mean? Let's see. You have a series combination of resistors here. Let's suppose I have 3 resistors which are joined or which are attached in a series combination of resistance R1, R2 and R3. You can see this is a series or a linear combination. Now let's suppose I have a ammeter here, and then I have battery, okay, and then you have a switch. So this is the most simplest circuit which you can draw. And now if you see that what is the current, so this is the positive terminal of battery, this is the negative, ammeter also has a positive and negative terminal. So current will flow from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. So what is the flow of current actually? This arrow shows the flow of or direction of current. So let's suppose the battery is supplying a current I here. Current is represented by the symbol capital I. So this current will reach R1. So here the current R1, the current through resistor R1 would be I1, and the amount of current passing through R1 would be the same which would pass through I2 and which would pass through I3. That is I1, I2, I3, all the current are equal to I. So we say that during series combination, all the resistance, they feel or they have an equal amount of current passing through them. That is the amount of current I which is supplied by the battery, all these resistors, they are receiving a current I1, I2 and I3, and these all values is equal to I. So we can write here, what have I written here? As you can see, we can say that I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3, and these all are equal to the initial value of current I. Whereas in parallel combination this is not the case. Here the total current I would be equal to I1 plus I2. So this would give you the total current I which is passing through all the resistors. Okay, let's see it with the help of a diagram. This is your one parallel resistor, this one is the second, and this one is the third. So you have all the three resistors. These are connected in a parallel manner. So now let's suppose I am drawing just a simple circuit diagram so that you can understand. So the current which is being provided by the battery, let's suppose the current is capital I here. So this current, when it would pass through the resistor, then it would divide up. That is, the current in this branch would be I1, here it would be I2, here it would be I3. So all the resistors would have a different value of current, different magnitude of current passing through it. As you can see that this current, the total current I, this I is what? This is the total current which you have in the circuit. So this current is being divided into the three branches of the resistors. So here total current would be the sum of all three, that is I1 plus I2 plus I3. If you add them up, then it would give you the total current. But remember, this I1 is not equal to I2. The important point is I1 is not equal to I2, which is not equal to I3, and this is not equal to total current I here. So this is the important point to remember. I hope this is clear. Here all the values of current are equal. You can say in short, in series combination current remains the same. But in parallel combination current remains different in each of the following resistors. And total current is equal to sum of all the currents. Okay. So the next which we will be discussing is our fourth point, that is in series resistance the current remains the same but the potential remains different. Potential is different for different resistors, which means here total potential V would be, V total is V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay. Whereas in parallel combination you can remember, you can remember that current remains constant in series, whereas potential remains constant in parallel. And the trick here would be parallel starts from the letter P and potential also starts from the letter P. So we can say that in parallel combination, potential remains the same. So here what we will be writing is potential remains the same when you are talking about parallel combination. Whereas in series, you can remember, in parallel potential is same, in series the current is same. Okay. See, for parallel combination, now what you can write? Here for parallel combination, total potential is sum of all the potential. That is, potential of the first resistor would be V1. For this, the value would be V2 and this would be V3. And the total potential of battery is V. Potential is supplied by the battery. But here in parallel combination, we said that the potential remains the same. So this would be total potential is equals to V1, which is equals to V2, which is equals to V3. So this gives you the total potential of parallel combination. I hope this is clear. That is the potential. This battery here, it has a potential capital V. So all the resistors, they will have a potential V1, V2, V3. And all V1 is equals to V, V2 is also equal to V, and V3 is also equals to V. So potential remains same, because potential is what? The work done in moving a charge from one point to other point. And here all the points, they have the single starting and ending point. So the potential through each resistor would be same, because work done from moving a charge from point A to point B is same in all the three cases, and hence in short we can say that the value of potential remains the same in parallel combination. That is, V total is equals to V1, which is equal to V2, which is in turn equals to V3. Whereas in series combination, the sum of all the potential gives you the total potential V supplied by the battery. So these are again some differentiating points which you have. Okay, I hope this is clear. And now we have to find the effective resistance. I hope these 4 points are clear. So moving on to the effective resistance between series and parallel combination. So the fifth point would be this. We have our series combination and this one is our parallel combination. So fifth point is what? We have to find the effective resistance in series combination. So effective resistance means total resistance of all the resistors which you have joined in a series combination. So you can say that the total resistance, see, from Ohm's law we can write, from Ohm's law we know V is equals to IR, okay? And then V equals to IR, we know that when we are talking about series combination, then the current remains the same. That is, potential of the first would be IR1, potential of second would be IR2, and potential of third would be IR3. Okay, why I have written only I and not I1, I2, I3? Because we know I1 is equals to I2 is equals to I3, and all these values are totally equal to the value I. So instead of writing I1, I2, I3, I have just written I. Okay, I hope this is clear now. We have spoken I, that is current, so many times. So let's see, the total potential would be what? V1, or you can say, here now we are finding the effective resistance, that is R. So effective resistance R would be, R is equals to V by I here, okay? As you can see, from this formula when you take out the value of R, you will get V upon I. So now we are saying R total, or you can even write it R effective. What I have given it as a heading, effective resistance mean total resistance of the combination. So it would be V1 upon I1 plus V2 upon I2 plus V3 upon I3. We know I1, I2 and I3 are same. So we'll be getting, instead of V1, we can write IR1. Okay, so this value of V1, I am putting it from this equation. V1 is IR1. So we'll be getting IR1, and I1 is also equals to I. IR1 upon I. I hope this is clear. See, what we are doing is, we are substituting, this would be the equation of total resistance. V equals to IR from Ohm's law. This was our first equation. From this we can find the value of R. So R would be V upon I. So this gives us the second equation. Now I am saying, what is the potential V1? So V is I into R, current multiplied by resistance. So we know that I1 into R1, but I have not written I1 here. Why? Because I1 is equal to I. We have just seen in the previous point. Similarly, I got the equations third, fourth and fifth. Now what would be the total or effective resistance? Total resistance would be, R total would be equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Make this equation to be your sixth equation. So R total would be, what is R1? R is potential divided by current, V upon I. So here I am written V upon I, V2 upon I2, V3 upon I3. Then this value of V1 I have taken from equation number third. V1 is IR1, and instead of I1 I have written I, because I1 is equals to total current I here. Okay. Now similarly V2 is what? V2 is IR2. So instead of V2 I will be writing, we'll be writing IR2, and instead of I2, I2 is also equals to I. So I, and V3 is I multiplied by R3. So V3 gives me I R3, and I3 is also equals to I. Now what I get, this I, that is the value of current, gets cancelled, and now my final R effective or R total comes out to be R1 plus R2 plus R3. So you can remember this formula directly, that is, whenever you are given numerical questions based on to find the resistance, the effective resistance, then what we do is, we add all the resistors, all the resistance of the resistors which are present in series combination. Okay, we'll be doing some questions, and then you will get your concepts clear better. So I hope this is clear, okay, that how the effective resistance of series is. Now you can write that effective resistance in series combination, it is equal to the sum of all resistance. So this is the line which is given in your books, that effective resistance in series combination is equal to the sum of all the resistance. Okay, and how this came, I hope this is very simple. From Ohm's law we had V equals to IR, so we find the potential V1, V2, V3. Then we found the value of R from this, that R is equal to V upon I. And this formula we have used, that R total would be R1, R2, R3. We have substituted the values of R in the following manner, and then we got the final answer. Similarly, now we are trying to find the effective resistance in case of parallel combination. So effective resistance in case of parallel combination, I would denote it by RP, that is R parallel. So next we'll be using the same, that is we know Ohm's law is V equals to IR. And you know in parallel combination, what remains the same? In parallel combination, yes, potential. I told you, remember that in parallel combination, P means potential remains the same. So in this, the potential remains the same. It means the value of potential V is equals to V1 is equals to V2, and which in turn is equal to V3, V4, etc. This we have discussed in our last slide. So now what we have next is, we are finding what would be V1. V1 would be I into R, or let's say, I am not writing it directly, that R parallel or R effective would be R1 plus R2 plus R3. That is, total resistance, effective resistance would be the same, R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now we have to find the value of R. So from this, you know R is equals to V upon I. So R1 would be V1 upon I1. So instead of R1, I am writing V1 upon I1. Likewise we did in this, see, R1 was V1 upon I1, same we are using it here. So V1 upon I1 plus R2 would be V2 upon I2, and R3 would be V3 upon I3. This would be the value of R effective. Okay, now R effective, we have got our equation. We know that V1 is equal to V, V2 is also equals to V, V3 is also equals to V. So in this equation, instead of V1, I'll be writing V. So R effective becomes V. Here also we have V, and instead of V3, I'm writing V. Now we have to find the value of current, that is I1. So you can see from the same equation, that is from the Ohm's law. Ohm's law is V equals to IR. So I would be what? I would be V divided by R. So in turn, I would be V1 upon R1. Yes. Okay. I would be V divided by R. So substituting this value, I1 I have in denominator. So I would write here V and multiplied by R. Okay. So this would be V upon R, V upon R1, R2, and V upon R3, because the potential value is same for all. And then you will be solving this equation, then you will be getting 1 upon R effective is equals to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2, 1 upon R2 and plus 1 upon R3. So this gives you a value of effective resistance when we are talking about parallel combination. That is, effective resistance in parallel combination is 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Whereas in series it is R1 plus R2 plus R3. I hope this concept is clear, because next we'll be doing some of the questions. Okay. Some related numerical questions which are given in your books. You can also see some of the solved examples given in your books. These are very easy. And then you can see the questions related to all these. And then you can remember one more point about series and parallel combination. What is the advantage of series over parallel? You get such questions in examination, so I am telling you, in the series combination, okay, there are some questions that is advantages of series combination or advantages of parallel combination over the series combination. So the answer to this is, in series combination, when you have the devices connected, then if one of the device gets out of order, or when one of the device it gets burnt out due to high flow of current, then the other devices also stop to work. So this is the disadvantage of series, and it becomes the advantage of parallel. That is, in series combination, if one device gets out of order means something, it gets destroyed, okay, the circuit gets burnt out. So if one of the device gets out of order, remaining devices or remaining resistors also stop working. Why? Let's see, you have one device, here you have the next one, here you have the third one. All these are resistors, but where these resistors are present, these are present inside your electric devices, your electric appliances. Let's suppose you have 3 circuits which are connected in series, okay? You have 3 switchboards connected in series, and if for one or the other reason, let's suppose due to high voltage or high current, this device got burnt. Now when this device got burnt, then what would happen is, it would break off, okay? Due to burning, this device breaks off, and this creates an open circuit. And we know that current cannot flow through the open circuit. It means when one device gets destroyed or burns off, then this current is not able to flow to the other devices. Now it is not flowing. And in turn, when device is getting out of order, the other devices also stop to work. Whereas in parallel, if one device gets out of order, then also the remaining devices work well. Why? Because you know, let's suppose this is one device, this one is the second, and this one is the third device. Okay, this is your potential source, that is your battery. So the current which is flowing here, when this device, let's suppose it got out of order due to any mistake in its circuit, then also there is no worry, because both the remaining devices, they would function appropriately well. So this is the advantage of parallel combination over series combination. Okay, then in some questions you also get that, let's suppose you have a question here that find the maximum to minimum ratio of resistance. This means, and you will be given that you have, let's suppose you have 3 resistance. One is of 2 ohm. I already told you the SI unit of resistance is ohms. So one resistance R1 is 2 ohm, then you have a 10 ohm resistor, and then you have a third resistor which has a resistance of, let's suppose, 8 ohms. And now you have to find the effective resistance. So it is given, find the maximum and the minimum resistance. So maximum always refers to the series combination. Remember this, whenever you are getting such questions, that is 3 resistors are present, each having a different value of resistance, and you are told to find the effective resistance, that is the ratio of maximum effective resistance and minimum effective resistance. So here maximum means series. So first you have to assume that the ratio of maximum effective resistance upon minimum means the ratio of series upon parallel. Okay, remember this, because in series combination, in series, how do you find the effective resistance? R series is R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on, And R parallel is what? R parallel is 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. This gives you the value of R parallel. So in this manner, you will be finding the effective resistance in series and in parallel combination. I hope this is clear. Now you can practice some of the NCERT questions given in your books, okay? And these are some of the questions which came in previous board examination, so these would be helpful. And this is a very frequent question which you will be dealing with whenever you are studying this chapter, electricity. So now we will be doing some questions which are based on the series and parallel combination of resistance. Let's start. Now you are given a question. This is the first resistance, the second one, and then you have one more resistance. Now you have to identify which of the following resistance are in series and which are in parallel. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3, R4, R5. Remember the definition which I have told you. To identify series combination, what was the definition? This is the starting point of R1. Let's suppose this is the ending point. This is the starting point of R2. This is the ending point of R2. As you can see, the ending point of R1 is joined with the starting point of R2. This means R1 and R2 are in series combination. Similarly, R3 and R4 are also in series combination. Okay, we assume that all these R1 is equals to 1 ohm, R2 is also 1 ohm, R3 you are being given as 2 ohm, R4 you are given as 6 ohms, R5 you have as 2 ohms again. So these are the values which are given. So how we'll be solving? R1 and R2 in series combination. That means R effective for R1 and R2 would be R1 plus R2, that is we'll use the formula for series combination. Now putting the values, R1 is 1 and R2 is also 1 ohm, which gives me a total resistance of 2 ohm. It means I can replace both these resistance and I can put a single resistance, okay? And this would be, let's suppose, this resistance would be of 2 ohms. Next, similarly, we'll solve for R3 and R4. So both are in series, that means R3 plus R4 would give me a total resistance of 8 ohms. 6 plus 2 would give you 8. So instead of both these, I can put a new resistor which has a resistance 8 ohm. And then I have remaining with me the resistance R5. So now all these resistance, all the starting point of the resistance are joined with one common point, you can see, and all the ending points are also connected to one single point. It means now these three resistance are in parallel combination. And now you can use the formula of parallel, that is 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So R parallel would be 1 by 2 plus 1 by 8, and the value of R5 is 1 by 2. Now what you have to do, how to solve this? You have to take the LCM, which comes out to be 8 here. Then you will be solving it accordingly, that is, here you will have 4 plus 1 and 4. Okay, so this one would be 8 plus 1, 9 by 8 ohms. It would give you the effective resistance of all these, the total resistance of the circuit. It would come out to be 9 by 8 ohms. I hope this is clear. So in the next class, please practice these questions, okay? These are very easy. There are some of the questions given as in-text question. Then you have 1 to 2 solved examples based on these type of combination question. And for you, one question I will be giving. Find the effective resistance of this combination. Okay, you have to find, here you have the battery. And now you have to find the effective resistance for this combination. This is the combination. You have to identify, this one is 2 ohms, this is 3 ohm, this is again 2 ohm. Okay. So you have to identify which resistors are in series, which are in parallel. do pause the video and find it out, because I'll be telling you just which are in series, which are in parallel, and then you have to find the final answer yourself. So if you have tried it out, you can check that both these resistance are in series, because their first point, last point is joined with the first point, okay, as I said. So this makes a series combination. Similarly, both these resistance are also making a series combination. When you will be solving it out, then you can put one resistance replacing both these. Then you have the middle one, that is the, let's suppose this answer you got as R1. So this one would be R1, this is your 3 ohm, and this answer you got as R2. So now in place of both these, you can take a single resistance which is having a resistance R2, and now all the 3 resistance, they are in parallel. So after finding these, the effective resistance, all these 3 are in parallel combination, so you can find the total resistance of the circuit. I hope this is clear, so practice many such more type of numericals, okay? And this is enough for today's class. Now in the next class, we'll be completing the chapter, because now you are only left with heating effect of current and a small topic of power. So we'll be doing this, and in heating effect, we'll be completing Joule's law of heating also. So thank you for joining today's class. I hope you found it interesting and you learnt out something from this, okay, the concepts. I hope it was clear. So any suggestions and queries if you are having, then you can contact us anytime. Till then, stay home, stay safe, keep studying, okay? Thank you.